$30 million. That's the TV ad blitz that he is planning for the coming week to enter officially this 2020 race. $30 million in a week. That's more than all of his rivals in the past year alone. So it really gives you an idea of how hard Bloomberg is going into this race. And that's really to make up for that lost time, because all the others have been campaigning for months, and now he's just jumping in. And because of that late entry, he's going to be missing the first four primaries of this season, jumping into the election really on Super Tuesday, which will be March 3rd, so 1 month after his other rivals. But he feels that he has a path as a moderate Democrat.
Interim President Janine Áñez enacted the bill to call elections in Bolivia after weeks of nationwide turmoil.
It hasn't been easy to reach an agreement, so I congratulate all legislators that worked towards this deal. It's the result of Bolivians who say enough with impunity and violence.
The National Assembly approved the bill unanimously, hoping to calm street violence, including members of ousted President Evo Morales' MAS party. The deal was reached after protesters began clearing roadblocks around the country, and the government withdrew the decree that allowed the armed forces and police the use of force. Dozens of people have died since the October election that international organizations say were full of irregularities.
It's a list of some 50 measures aimed at combating violence that kills over 100 women in France each year. Among them, the co-financing of rehabilitation centers to house men who commit non-fatal acts of domestic violence. One such center in northern France saw the rate of repeat abuse fall from 60 to 20%. New policies will also suspend the parental rights of those who kill their partners, give authorities the power to confiscate weapons from men who have made threats, and make the helpline dedicated to victims of domestic violence available 24/7. Some feminist groups say they won't be satisfied by any plan that budgets less than €1 billion. But France's gender equality minister says the price tag isn't what counts.
Tonight, the Union City Police Department is searching for the shooting suspect or suspects and a motive. This double homicide is a rare crime for the city. Tonight, candles lit up the parking lot that hours ago was a crime scene. Police say at about 1:30 in the morning, an 11 and 14-year-old boy were sitting in a van in the Cyrils Elementary School parking lot when they were confronted by at least one shooter who opened fire. The older victim died on the scene. The younger died while being rushed to the hospital. Police do not know whether the gunman approached by foot or in a car, or if they had any relationship to the victims. It's unclear if the shooting was random or targeted.
We don't know at this point if they were there to meet somebody up. We haven't ruled out that this is gang related, but we haven't been able to verify that information.
The problem with this week's fake news story is we actually caught them, and we caught them badly. We are going to take both CNN and the Daily Beast likely into federal court right after Thanksgiving. It is not okay to work with someone who has been indicted on serious federal crime to build a media narrative and dirty up a member of Congress.
Well, that was Devin Nunes, the ranking member on the Intel Committee, doubling down, pushing back against reports claiming he worked with Ukrainians to dig up dirt on former VP Joe Biden and his son Hunter. Now he's threatening to sue some media outlets.
The new round of devastating flooding in Venice. People in one of the world's most famous cities wading through waters from their ankles to their knees. Protests now breaking out as concerns grow about the city's future.
Tonight, Venice and some of its most famous landmarks submerged again as the city struggles with weeks of unprecedented and deadly flooding. The water is up above my knee line, and they're expecting St. Mark's Square to stay flooded like this for the rest of the week. Water inundating this iconic landmark, damaging homes and businesses nearby. The mayor saying it could cost more than $1 billion to repair. Reports of as many as a third of visitors canceling their trips. Locals agree something needs to be done. Hundreds taking to the streets. Many say they are fearful for their city's future.
Massive anti-government protests have been raging in Iraq since early October. And security forces have been carrying out a violent crackdown on the demonstrations.
We were walking on the bridge holding the Iraqi flag. Suddenly they were firing live bullets, grenades and tear gas. I was hit in the eye and the arm. I fell down and passed out and woke up in hospital.
Ali lost his right eye due to the incident. Rights groups say about 15,000 protesters have been injured by security forces in southern Iraq. And Iraqi officials say more than 300 have been killed in the demonstrations, making it one of the deadliest protest movements in Iraq in decades.
The Sumatran rhinoceros has become extinct in Malaysia after the last living female died of cancer. Wildlife Department officials said 25-year-old Iman died sooner than expected. Her death came just 6 months after the country's last male Sumatran rhino died. Malaysian authorities did obtain Iman's egg cells in hopes of a future collaboration with Indonesia to artificially reproduce the species. Deforestation and poaching contributed to the extinction in Malaysia. The Sumatran, black, and Javan rhinoceros are all critically endangered species.